5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, this is Luke from e-CBD. Sorry, we're starting a little late. We had some technical difficulties, as the saying goes. So today, without further ado, we're going to talk about 5 things you should do today if you run an online store. Okay, so this is going to, look, we could talk about so many different things when it comes to things that you could do right now with your online store. Today I'm going to talk about specific things to do with your actual paid advertising, hopefully you're doing some paid advertising, that really are pinpointing. These are kind of like more advanced techniques and strategies to really pinpoint your customers and potential customers and I guess close the sales, which is what you want to be doing if you're running an online store. So the first thing that you should be thinking about your customer's temperature, not their physical temperature or their exposure. How exposed are they to your brand? And that means, have they seen ads on Facebook? Have they seen search ads? Have they seen display advertising through the Google platform? Have they visited your site via organic means? And thinking about your customers in that. So, essentially the old adage goes, you need to see a brand 7 times to kind of feel like you've got some kind of connection, and usually that's 7 times in different places. So the strategies we're talking about today kind of work on that whole idea about looking for those warm customers, those ones that are already a bit further down the funnel. And so these ideas are about using Google and Facebook ads, and I've put it here, to create a pinpointed deep funnel ad strategy. Okay, so you're looking. It's not just kind of throw some ads up on Facebook and just hope people click through to your website. No, this is okay. Let's work a strategy out so that we're thinking about people who have already actually engaged with your brand, and then how do we further draw them down that funnel so that we get a purchase. Okay, so the first thing that you should be doing if you're not already, and this is forward facing, so this isn't kind of deep, this is the top of the funnel, but it's a really great way to show your products and show your product feed to a lot of people, and that's using Google Shopping ads. So look, if you've got, I'd say maybe 20 plus products, you should be running Google Shopping ads. I think even if you've got less than that, that's probably still valuable, just depending on what you're running. Like if you've got a high dollar item and you only carry 5 different models or something, you could still use them. It's up to you. But I think Google Shopping ads are a brilliant way, a very cheap way to bring people into the store, and you get that advantage of, okay, somebody searches for a product, up pops yours with an image and a description. Person, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Yes, organic is important, and obviously that's a whole nother discussion, but these Google Shopping ads are often very cheap. Okay, and look, I've had instances where I've been able to get, spend $25 and saw $5,000 in revenue. I kid you not. That's how much I've spent, and then actually could see tracking the revenue through Google Analytics e-commerce. And so, look, who wouldn't like spending $25 to get 5,000? So Google Shopping ads definitely, and the more products you've got, the better it will work in that regard. Look, it'll still work well if you've got a small amount of products, but yeah, if you've got a big store with 100, 200, 300 plus products, you should be using Google Shopping ads. Okay. One of the things that I would advise you to do is don't necessarily put your bid for your product categories at what Google suggests as the benchmark. That will often work, but I think it's, in my mind, and I'm still playing around with this, it seems to have the same effect when you put broad match keywords into Google search ads. If you've ever used Google search ads, if you just put broad terms in there, yes, you'll get a lot of traffic, but you won't necessarily get a lot of good quality leads out of that. You might get lucky, but generally, our strategy, particularly when we're doing Google search ads, is to really pinpoint those key terms that turn into purchases or leads. So in which case, I think it's the same principle with Google Shopping ads. If you bid too much, then you'll compete with everybody else, you'll get very broad exposure, you'll get a lot of clicks, and it will cost you probably a lot more money. Whereas if you kind of play around with that, stick underneath this is quite a pro tip. If you stick under what Google's recommending, you may not get as many clicks, but you'll probably get more qualified clicks through, and so therefore you'll probably get purchases in that regard. So play around with that. That's a bit of a pro tip. Okay, number 2, and we're doing 5 today, so that was number 1. Number 2, dynamic Google shopping ads for remarketing. So if you are, you've got your store, you've got your Google shopping ads already running, then it's quite easy to set up remarketing ads. So ads that show to people who have visited the store that then dynamically show them the products. So as I was saying, dynamic Google shopping ads. So you've got your shopping feed already set up, you can show people products. Why not show, if they've visited a particular product, why not show them that product and follow them around saying, hey, you forgot to buy me, come back and buy. And I've been remarketed to that way. I know what they're doing and it works. Because you go, oh yeah, I really do want that. Okay. So, and it's just another really, like I said, that pinpoint way. You're not just showing them a regular remarketing ad about your store, you're showing them the exact product they were looking at. So it's very, much more enticing, much more personalized. And so those dynamic Google shopping ads used in a remarketing capacity, obviously, are excellent in that regard, and you should be setting those up. One of the things I'll say about both of these strategies, you need to optimize your titles and your descriptions. We won't go into that right now. There are best practices, and we can probably refer you to some documentation in the comments, in the description, that you can have a look at things the way. And look, those descriptions and those titles are just valuable to be optimized anyway for both social, for the ads, for SEO, all that sort of thing. So that's kind of a 101 thing. We're not talking about that sort of thing today. Number 3, YouTube retargeting or remarketing ads. So in the same way you can show people, the product that they were just looking at, you can remarket to them. Now, you may not get as specific as the product that they've been looking at, but you can certainly, that's the thing, if you do have a small number of products, it can be a great way. Okay, this person looked at this particular model, it's worth, I don't know, a couple of $100. I want to show them a video, a branded video about that product that we did explaining, and I want to show it to them on YouTube, and I want it to follow them around. And so YouTube retargeting or remarketing ads are brilliant, especially if you've had that product video on the actual page itself that they've visited to look at that product. And you can actually do the exact same thing. I keep saying retargeting by accident because you can do that. That's what it's called in Facebook. You can do the same thing with Facebook using retargeting, and again, that can be image ads, but it can also be video. And I have an online store, my wife and we use a lot of Facebook and Google ads, and video, particularly on Facebook, seems to respond so much better as far as people engaging with it than just static images. So keep that in mind. And so this is coming from someone who's actually doing it and trying to sell products online. Okay, and one of the beautiful things with YouTube in particular, you can show your show your videos for as little as 1 cent a view. So you put a couple of dollars on that, you can potentially get 200 plus views of your videos of your particular products, in per day. And one of the things, this is again a pro tip, when you're setting up YouTube video ads, look at capping the impressions and capping the views. My wife actually got quite annoyed because I'd visited a music site, and she kept getting shown these videos, because I did it on her account. She kept getting shown video ads from this particular online store. And so, I thought they were great, and I thought that they did a really good job. But unfortunately, if they keep seeing them time and time again, that's because they haven't put capping on there. So you should probably show it 7 times, get 7 impressions a day. This is just my rough rule of thumb, and maybe only 3 views. You play with that and see what works for you. But that's a pro tip. Capping your impressions for those remarketing ads, in particular the YouTube videos, is important so you don't annoy people and turn them off. Number 4, Facebook catalog ads. I'm sure that'll end up at the start of the video because Alicia likes to put funny things in there that I do. So if you haven't set up a catalog feed, which is very similar to the Google Shopping feed for your Facebook store, you should do that. Okay, that's a first port of call. And what Facebook will prompt you to do, look, and there's so many, look, Facebook's really good because they want you to use their system, they want you to advertise, so they often develop plugins and that to make it so easy to do. So, you know, that's definitely something you should be doing. I do it with my store. And you can set up, essentially similar to Google Dynamic Shopping Ads, you can set up a catalog ad which might have a carousel of products that they've viewed, because Facebook, you know, knows through the Facebook pixel that they've viewed certain products. And then you can even target those ads, say, okay, I want to target people for the last 28 days who have maybe looked at these particular products, or you can even go deeper than that and go, I want to target people with retarget those people who have gone to the shop, they've put that product into their cart, but they haven't followed through the purchase. So they've already gone down that route where they've got it in the cart, and then for whatever reason they've wandered off and done something else. And look, I've had this done to me where this ad keeps popping up for this product that I've added to a cart, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go back and finish that order. So you get a second bite at the cherry, and so that's definitely something that, you know, it's a bit of a no-brainer. You should be setting up those ads. And just keep in mind, all of these ads, you can be running from as little as $5 a day. Like really, you need to, and there's a bit of a formula that I use to I'm trying to develop a bit of a formula to work out how much you actually need to spend. But look, yeah, for $5 a day, Facebook ads, you know, maybe $20 a day, $600 a month, you can kind of cover all these areas, depending on the size of your store and how big it is and how much you want to push and that kind of thing. Obviously, you can spend $100 a day. It's up to you, but if you're on a budget, you can keep it tight. Okay, number 5. Do you have specific high-value products that you want to focus on? And so maybe it's good just to, I'm speaking from experience because we have particular products that we want to push in our own store, and one of the things we do is we take a Facebook retargeting ad and we focus just on that product, and we really kind of create an ad that is very targeted towards those people who have viewed that product and then have obviously wandered off and haven't added it. And so you're really getting down to very pinpoint, I want to guide these people down the funnel. So you can set up these just Facebook ads, but they're using a retargeting audience. So this person has visited this particular product, so you put the product URL. This is when you create an audience in Facebook. Okay, and then I want to make sure that they haven't purchased it because I don't want to be annoying them, telling them to keep purchasing. So then I can put in the page success URL. So when they've finished purchase, they arrive at the thank you for your purchase page. So I make sure that if they've visited that page plus that page, don't show them the ad. But if they've visited the top page and not the bottom page, show them the ad. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So that's in your Facebook audiences that you set that up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count them, 5 things that you can do today if you run an online store to help just increase the chances. Like I said, these are deep funnel techniques. You know, these people have already been, except for the first one, which is top of the funnel type thing. But these people who have actually been to your website, and you're now taking that opportunity and the power of Google ads and Facebook ads to be able to have, like I said, that second bite at the cherry. You've spent that money initially to get them there, or they've got there through organic. It makes sense that you then need to, double down on your efforts and get as much of a chance to make the sale. Now, as a bonus, here's a couple more things that I will mention. Alicia's excited. Lookalike audiences. I've talked a little bit about those in the past, but lookalike audiences are a really great way. So they're not hot leads, but you're leveraging Facebook's artificial intelligence so you take, for instance, all of the names, email addresses, and say phone numbers of people who have purchased from your store, and maybe you want to throw something out that might have been one-time purchases. Maybe you want to focus just on those who are repeat purchases. You know, you can kind of get as detailed as you want with this. Usually 100 emails plus is probably a good thing. The more the better, because then Facebook can develop more of a picture of the profiles of these people, as I've spoken about before. And so then what you want to do is that you want to take that lookalike audience and, you know, this list of people, put that into Facebook. Facebook kind of hides it so nobody can, you know, I know Facebook are a bit naughty and have been naughty in the past, but with the advertising, those details, they already have those details, but then Facebook kind of does something special with them so that you can't kind of, you know, marry up that data. But then they go off and they find people who fit the same profile as people who have previously purchased from your store. So you get a shot at people who are very much like the people who have already purchased from your store, and you can still apply demographic information like their age and their gender and where they lived. That's all still applicable. You can still do that, and so you really can, you know, like I said, they're not a hot lead, but they're at least, you've used a little bit more in, I guess, targeting than just kind of shooting out a web click ad that you've just kind of gone, oh yeah, I'm going to target people who are, you know, 20 to 45, male, female, who are interested in blah. You know, you've actually kind of let Facebook take that previous data of those people who have successfully bought from your store and created you a little audience that you then can show your ad to with hopefully much more success. And we've seen that for a lot of businesses that we've done that for. Okay, as always, experiment with your ads, ad copy and your images, and using video, all that sort of thing. I'm going to wrap this up. But so there's 5 things you can do today if you run an online store to just help that process of getting those leads. You know, like I said, having a second shot at those people who have already visited your site, and it's an excellent opportunity, and you should be taking advantage of it. Hope that's been helpful. Let us know if you've got any questions in the comments. Let us know if you've got any ideas for future Facebook Lives, because we appreciate that. We want to be answering questions. We want it to be valuable for you. So thank you very much for tuning in today, and if you tune in later, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday. Have a good one.